Welcome to Yoga for Eating Disorders. I am Jennifer Krayat-Solis. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. Today we are exploring the theme of tapas. In yoga philosophy, tapas means right action. It is a call to commitment to doing those things that we need to do in our daily lives to support our physical health, our mental health, our emotional health, our spiritual health. And when I think about tapas in terms of eating disorder recovery, it is a call to action to give our most sincere effort in taking the steps that we need to take every day to support our recovery. It is a commitment to following through on the actions that we need to take every day to align ourselves with our recovery values. It's doing the things that we don't want to do, but doing them anyway because we know they align with recovery values. It's everything from showing up to our therapy appointments and following through on our meal plans to, remembering self-care beyond just food and therapy. How about getting out into nature? How about having healthy relationships? How about being mindful of what we're looking at on social media, right? All of these things contribute to our overall health, our overall well-being. So tapas is a call to action. It's a call to commitment to doing those things we must do for ourselves every day, even when we don't want to, because following through on them supports our well-being and lifts us up, and it moves us further along on our healing journeys. On our yoga mats today, we're going to cue into this idea of sincere effort and tapas. Right? So sincere effort is very different than, the idea of it having to be perfect. Sincere effort is just the commitment to showing up as fully as possible in this moment. So in each pose, let's all commit to show up as fully as possible with our breath, as fully as possible with our bodies, as fully as possible with the moment. We don't need to judge any of it, change any of it. We just need to sincerely be in it. So when it comes to our recoveries, practicing sincere effort in those tasks that align with recovery takes the pressure off at having to be perfect. We only need to be sincere in our effort, which isn't easy, but it gives a different spin to it. It makes it, more spiritual. There's probably a different word that we can use for that, but that's what it comes to mind to me, right? It's more about healing on a deeper level than performing, I guess, right? So let's just play in some poses. This isn't going to be a long sequence. Let's just play in some poses and do our best to show up sincerely and give the effort that we have to give today from a sincere place. Just a word about the practice. We are going to spend quite a bit of time on our knees and our hands. So feel free to roll up your mat for cushioning or to bring a rolled blanket or towel under your knees. If at any point you need to shift your position, feel free to do that. Get creative and follow along in a way that works best for your body today. All right, we're going to get started in child's pose today. I'm going to head back to my mat. Okay, so in child's pose, your feet can be together, apart or together. Right? You can sit back to a place that's comfortable for you. Your knees can be far apart or together or closer together, whatever's best for you. And then you can walk your hands forward, just to that place that feels right. There's some options here. You can walk them all the way forward so your head comes down. You can make a shelf for your forehead. You can also use a block as a shelf. So lots of ways to play in this pose. I invite you to go ahead and explore a little bit which position in child's pose allows you to be here the most sincerely as possible, meaning can you make some shifts so that you're comfortable enough to be able to focus on being here? Just begin to breathe in a way that feels right for you. And really, it's the idea of just knowing that you're breathing, just noticing your breath. So go ahead and notice your breath. And now we're going to move in sync with our breath. So I'm going to invite you to rise up on your knees as you breathe in and reach your arms up. And as you breathe out, flow back down to your child's pose. You can take your hands back to where they were or down by your sides. And then as you breathe in, maybe you reach up again on your knees and take your arms up. And exhale back to child's pose. Again, breathe in, reach up. Exhale back to child's pose. One more time, rise up and come back to child's pose. This time, come forward onto hands and knees for tabletop pose. Right, so remember, you can always adjust by rolling up the sides of your mat to cushion your knees. You can bring a towel or a blanket under your knees. You can make fists with your hands to help your wrists. Whatever you need to do here. We're going to roll through some cat and cows. So as you breathe in, lift your eyes and heart. As you breathe out, round your back. Inhale, lift your eyes and heart. Exhale, round your back. 2 more times. Go ahead and move with your own breath at your own pace. Being sincere in your effort. So not confusing your purpose here with perfection. Just moving to the way that feels right for you. From a sincere place. One more time. And then stand up on your knees again. And I'm going to turn to face so you can see. And I invite you to take your right leg out to the right. You can have your toes turned up with a little bend in your knee, or your toes turned forward and your foot flat on the floor. Your choice. Let your right hand rest on your right leg. Take your left arm up. And let's flow into gate pose. Take a reach high and then a reach over. Bring some softness into your face. Let your eyes soften instead of that hard, narrow gaze from trying too hard. Just come back to a sincere effort. So you're present and you care. You're not confusing that with being perfect. And you're being mindful of your thoughts. Are they working against you? If they're working against you, what's the thought that needs to change? And what's the new thought that needs to come in? Slowly come back up. Take your left hand, place it on the floor under your left shoulder. Take your right arm up, coming into a supported side plank. You're welcome to float your back foot up the floor if you like. You can take your upper arm over your head if you like. Just having a little fun, a little playful moment. Take a breath in, a breath out, and then rise back up to your gate. Lower your arms down. Bring your other knee down and take a pause. Inhale, reach up. Press your palms. Exhale, lower your hands in front of your heart. Again, inhale, reach up. Press your palms. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. One more together. Inhale, reach up. Press your palms and exhale your hands down in front of your heart. Let's build our gate pose on the other side. So now take your left foot out to the left. Toes up and knees slightly bent, or foot on the floor, toes forward. Allow your left hand to rest on your left leg. Take your right arm up and go ahead, a gentle reach over. Just finding that place where you can breathe with ease. You can feel a little something going on in this pose. You know you're reaching, not striving. Just being here for the sake of being here because you know that doing this is good for you. supports your recovery. It supports your wellness in some way. So we be invested in that. We show up for ourselves. That is tapas. Come back all the way up. Let your right hand come down under your shoulder. Take your left arm up this time. And maybe you float the left leg. Maybe you take the left arm over. It's all good. It's all right. Take a breath in and a breath out. And then rise all the way up back to gate. Let your arms rest. Bring your knee to the floor. Interlace your hands in front of you. Inhale, reach up. Now we're going to open up into a twist. Exhale, take a gentle twist. Inhale, reach up. Press your palms to the top. Exhale, gentle twist. One more each side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. Come back to center. Press your palms and draw them down in front of you. And I invite you to just check in with your knees. If you're feeling like you need to make a change, please do that. No need to suffer. No need to push through something that's not good for you. Right? So as a practice of tapas, make a change so that what you're doing in this pose works for you. If you don't need a change, that's okay too. So just do that check-in, and then let's come back to tabletop. So if you need a change in tabletop, perhaps roll up the sides, put a blanket under your knees or a towel. Take your right arm forward and take your left leg back so your toes are on the floor. Find your balance here. And then slowly begin to lift your toes up off the floor. Just test the waters a little bit. Find your breath. And then lower your hand and lower your knee. And let's explore the other side. Take your left arm forward. Take your right leg back, toes on the floor. Find your steadiness. And then perhaps lift your heel up a little bit. Gentle breath in. Gentle breath out. One more time. Gentle breath in. Gentle breath out. Lower your hand, lower your knee. And let's come back to child's pose. So remember, lots of options. Feet together or apart. Knees together or apart. Arms forward or make a shelf. As you breathe in, rise up on your knees. Take your arms up. As you exhale, flow back down to child's pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, child's. One more time. Take a reach up and come back to child's pose. Walk your hands forward into tabletop one more time. From your tabletop, take your left arm up, just reaching it out to the side, just enough that you feel a little twist through your spine, but not cranking through your shoulder. Good. And then go ahead and weave that arm underneath your other arm, but let your arm kind of hang in the air. And then rise up and open up, and then weave it through. Last one, take a reach up, and then lower your hand down. Same thing, other side. Take your right arm up, weave it through, reach it up, weave it through. Last one, take a lift up, and then weave it through. Come back to tabletop. And then from tabletop, find your way to a seated position. Sit whatever position feels best for you. You can have your legs crossed. You can have them out in front of you. You can be sitting on your heels, on a block, whatever you like. I just want to invite everyone to take one or both hands to their heart for a moment. Just check in. What do you notice after 12 or 13 minutes of movement? What do you notice about how you're breathing right now? What do you notice about your heart? Perhaps you feel your heart beating under your hands, and maybe not, and that's okay too. Just do a check-in. What do you notice after a little bit of movement? How has it changed you from how you felt when you began to how you feel now? Can you look back on your time on the mat and notice those moments when you felt connected to sincere effort, a willingness to just simply show up for yourself, not attached to any outcomes? And maybe there were moments when there were kind of some chatter inside about an outcome, or doing it perfectly, or not liking the pose, or wanting it to be harder, or it's too hard, all that chatter. Can you clear that away and recognize that you chose to show up for yourself in this practice? You chose that. You followed through on an action that you know supports you. Can you give yourself a little bit of praise for that? A tap on the back, a recognition. And can you commit to doing this practice or another practice of some sort or activity that you know supports you? Can you commit to doing something like that every day? Something that supports you? I want to encourage you in that commitment and support you in that commitment. And it's in the repetition of following through that the things we don't want to do start to get easier. I invite you to stay on your mat as long as you like. If you're feeling like there's some more poses you want to do, or you want to sit and breathe or rest in Shavasana, please feel free to do that. Thank you so much for doing this practice with me, exploring sincere effort in yourself and your recovery. I look forward to being in touch and sharing another practice soon. Thank you.